Ho ho ho! Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, everybody. I think I can still say Merry Christmas. I think there's 12 days of Christmas. We're still within that interval. I hope you had a nice holiday. I had a wonderful holiday, thanks for asking. I always try to make the most of it and stay close to those people who are important to me. And no government and even no disease would keep me from doing that, because even if the disease were real and associating with my family and loved ones were going to cause the disease to spread between us, I would still do it, because if we can't be together, then what's the point of any of us being alive, you know? We'll live together, we'll die together. So that's my policy. But unfortunately, I have an aunt who I spoke to. She's kind of old lady now, and I spoke to her and she asked me how my Christmas went. I said it was great, thanks, had a lovely time. And I said to her, how was your Christmas? And she said it wasn't good, because her husband is a millionaire and he's really scared of anything happening to him, like diseases and stuff. So when he says don't go anywhere near any relatives, she has to obey him. And her children mostly live abroad. She's got 3 children grown up now, my age, with families. So she's got grandchildren. 2 of her sons live abroad. One of them lives in a completely different part of the country. So the ones who are abroad, I suppose, can't travel to come back to see her. And they wouldn't be allowed in the house anyway, because her husband is so cowardly and afraid of getting a disease, and he believes everything he sees on the TV. So this is the price for cowardice, isn't it? And for believing what you see on the television. The price is misery. So my poor old aunt had a miserable Christmas. She's got all these grandchildren and all these children, and she can't see them. She has to spend the Christmas with her miserable husband. And it's the same story for all sorts of people all over the world. Miserable, scared, isolated, because they believe what they see on the television. Now, I got a copyright strike from YouTube for putting up that video of that panel of scientists from all across Europe who were saying that there's no evidence for there being a pandemic at all, that there's been no increase in deaths, and it's a very dark plot by a group who've been causing all sorts of mischief for mankind for thousands of years. And these were real scientists, and they were talking about real facts. That's why YouTube banned it and gave me a copyright strike, punished me. And I appealed, and they just said to me today that my appeal has been rejected. I appealed on the grounds that, it's just facts and real doctors. And the people that watch YouTube should be allowed to have the facts so that they can make up their own minds. YouTube said that I was spreading medical misinformation, dangerous medical, what did they say? Misadvice or something. Anyway, in my appeal, I said, well, YouTube's full of medical misinformation. There's loads of vegan channels, all lying about the health benefits of being a vegan, which, in my experience, having tested it, is completely bogus. And there's even people on there saying you should drink your own urine for, health benefits and medical health reasons and all that. That's bogus advice. They're not getting banned, are they? They're not getting banned. And there's all sorts of people out there saying that you've got to wear a mask and that's all bogus. And so all this crap means nothing to YouTube. Look, a few things I wanted to say. I want to kind of make this video like a annual review. So review of 2020. Well, in 2020 I put out some videos about Bigfoot, saying that it's a massive cover-up, basically, with enormous resources behind it. And it's hugely important, actually, to all the conspiracies that are out there. They all the mysteries tie into this Bigfoot thing. That's why so much resources and expense has gone into covering it all up. Now, before we get into that, I just want to bring this newspaper article to your attention. This was in the Saturday Times. Is from Sunday now, so this is the 2nd of yesterday's January the 2nd, 2021. The Times. I didn't buy this newspaper. I never buy newspapers. Completely waste of time, and money. So they're saying several million jabs for this vaccine are going to be circulated and produced and all this lot. People are spreading the rumor that these vaccines are going to have the effect of sterilizing people, making it impossible for them to conceive children. Now, I certainly wouldn't suggest to anybody that they have the vaccine, because I don't know what's in it. They say there's things in it. I don't know really what's in it, only what they say is in it. My suspicion is that it probably just contains water. There's nothing in it at all. I certainly don't think that it would be a very effective way of sterilizing people, because the vaccines are going to be given to people who are elderly. Those are the most at-risk people. Those are the people they've been giving the flu jab to, pensioners. And these people, there would be no point sterilizing pensioners, because they're not going to be having children. They're past it. So it's ridiculous that this is going to be used for sterilizing people. The last jab I had was when I was about 23, and I was going to South America. I had to have yellow fever. I had to have a bunch of jabs, when I went to South America. And the doctor, there were 6 of us going on this trip. The doctor said, well, to save money, you can just buy one dose and I'll split it 6 ways between you. You can even each have a 1/6 of the jab. And I said, well, you sure it's going to be effective? And he said, yeah, no problem. It'll work just the same if we split it 6 ways as if we give you the full dose each, and save you money. I said, okay, no problem. Save money, that's good. And one of the jabs I had was intramuscular into my shoulder, and when he jabbed it in, he withdrew the needle and I flexed the muscle, and it squirted out again. All the stuff that he'd injected in squirted out. And he said, don't worry about that, be fine. I thought, gee whiz, man, it's all squirted out. It's like completely come out of it. And then, of course, been thinking about it over the years. I was thinking probably that doctor knew that it was just water, that there was no vaccine against yellow fever. Because, when I went to South America and I was doing field work out in the jungle, and there were these little villages and that. Supposedly in the place where I was, in the Amazon, malaria was rife. Really, really a lot of people had malaria in that place. Well, I was there for a couple of months, and I never met anyone with malaria. And yet, CDC and World Health Organization were all saying it was like full of malaria. Everybody had it, like a massive problem. I never met anyone with yellow fever. Never met anyone with malaria. And the other scientists, they didn't take the malaria pills. I was on chloroquine and all this horrible stuff made you feel ill. But they didn't take it. I thought, well, they're brave. But you see, they all knew that these things don't exist. Or maybe they do exist, they're so fantastically rare, or whatever, I don't know. But nobody was bothered about it or worried about it. And yet on paper, these were a massive problem. In reality, they were no problem. So I wouldn't worry about the vaccine sterilizing anybody, because the only people taking it are going to be pensioners. I'll show you why I think it's a joke. Look at this lady on the front cover here. Looks like a lady, doesn't it? Karina Tyrrell, global health expert and former Miss England, has told how she helped to deliver the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, and they've got an interview on page 38 and 39 with this person who's come out of nowhere. this young, whatever, global health expert, whatever that is, who happens to also have been Miss England. So a beauty pageant queen is also the Times go-to global health expert. Not a doctor. I mean, she's not Dr. Karina Tyrrell by the look of it. I'm not going to read the article. I'm just saying it's ridiculous. Now, if this person exists at all, which I'm not sure they do, but if she does, look how big her hands are. Massive hands for a woman. I mean, a little skinny female like that. Big hands, right? Look at the knuckles. Looks like she's been on the punch bag all day, like doing a boxercise. Something about the face looks boyish. I would suggest that if this person exists as an actual physical person at all, then it is a robotoid, an organic robotoid or a synthetic automaton. And what further fuels my suspicion about this is her name, Tyrrell. Do you remember Blade Runner, the Tyrrell Corporation? Ridley Scott's visionary movie Blade Runner. It's set in 2019, if you remember. And Eldon Tyrrell was the founder and corporate head of the Tyrrell Corporation. He and his company were responsible for the design, manufacture, and selling of humanoid slaves called replicants. These are your organic robotoids. More human than human. Tyrrell, you see? That's where they got the name for this character they made up. Because I don't think, I mean, the photo itself looks like they've stuck her onto a fake background. Who knows if she's even real? I don't think this is a real person. My information is that they use a male for some reason as the sort of template to produce the female robotoids, and that would explain the sort of strange proportions, disproportionately large hands, and the kind of boyish look to the face. But they remove all the sexual organs, and she won't have ovaries or a womb or anything like that. If she's, physically existent. So let's get to the Bigfoot stuff, because just want to explain to you the massive cover-up that's going on with this Bigfoot. The resources that they have and the people they have working for them. They have a lot of people working for them. All the popular Bigfoot personalities and people like that, they're all agents. So this guy running Sasquatch Chronicles, this guy here, Wes Germer, this guy on the right here, really dangerous looking dude, scary looking thug, definitely a killer. I mean, look at these people that he has on there, just dodgy looking. Shaved head and goatee beard, the Anton LaVey Satanist look. He looks like, I mean, look at him. He looks like the Sultan of Morocco's chief executioner and torturer. He's a secret agent paid to cover up the reality of Bigfoot and to make everybody believe that it's just some mysterious creature, some kind of ape living out there in the woods. And this episode here, with another secret agent, Kerry Arnold, Mr. Nice Guy, Kerry Arnold, with his country accent, so sort of honest sounding, and like, oh, I'm just a nice guy. I'm just a country boy with my country accent, just like you, hard working, honest individual. Yeah. Kerry Arnold's going to tell you, and his pal and colleague Wes Germer's going to agree and back him up on it, that the Dyatlov Pass incident, which was a classic case of a human abduction and mutilation by a UFO with Bigfoots involved, they're in the UFO, which proves that Bigfoot has actually got access to high technology and is very, very capable, and certainly not a wild ape, just an animal, a very, very dangerous, technologically advanced species, in fact. He's going to tell you that the Russian government cover-up of the Dyatlov Pass incident is true, and that the people were just caught in they were caught up in some mysterious missile test, and then they were all squashed by an avalanche, and that the lady's tongue being removed and her eyes being gouged out was just the trauma from the avalanche. Now, there's nothing to see here, nothing to do with Bigfoot, and they just give away their entire position on this podcast here. They just show themselves up to be the liars and the deceivers that they really are. And you'll find that with 90% of YouTube channels dealing with Bigfoot. I've already said, Brian Sullivan is a Freemason. He shows you. He's not hiding it. He's doing a Masonic handshake with one of the other agents. I showed you that a couple of videos ago. I mean, who's paying for all this? Who's paying for all this Sasquatch Chronicles stuff? I mean, this guy wears Gurma. He's got a job, has he? And he's just got loads of spare time. And why does he look so guilty in that picture? Why does he look like such a psychopathic killer in that picture? I mean, dude, why have they all got the same haircut? And it's a tonsure. This is the Satanists. Look, goatee beard, shaved head. Anton LaVey, Aleister Crowley look. They're covering it up. They're all in on it. This guy here, David Paulides, I've said before I had my suspicions about him, but actually I've come to the conclusion he's probably all right. And I'll tell you why I think he's all right, because this guy here, who doesn't exist, he's not even a robotoid. He's completely CGI. This guy here is completely fake. I've checked him out. He doesn't exist, believe me. Watch his videos. You'll see that it's all very, very high-end CGI. You'll notice his story that he gives doesn't make any sense. Nothing he says tallies with anything he does, or just complete gobbledygook. There simply isn't enough time for him to have this job as a hunting guide and make all these videos, because I've told you I'm a video maker. It takes time to render, it takes time to edit, it takes time to upload, and this guy is all over the place. He's always uploading videos, and somehow, even in the wilderness, even in Thailand, wherever he happens to be, he's got a rock-solid internet connection. Really good high-speed internet. He's able to upload dozens of videos and hours of material. It's just impossible. Watch his videos. You'll see he's all the backgrounds and all the animals and everything's completely CGI. So that's a lot of work and a lot of expense gone into making this channel and producing all this content using super high-end CGI. So this Bigfoot cover-up is massive. And his job is to make you think that Bigfoot is just a species of wild ape thing living out there in the wilderness. But this guy does not exist. He is computer generated. And if you watch and if you really want to put in the hours and see for yourself, you will see it. So he supposedly has been trying to contact David Paulides and offer his assistance. And as far as I know, Paulides has resisted and ignored him, because probably Paulides knows that he's bent, he's not real. And Paulides is showing you, if you read between the lines and you listen to the evidence that he presents, that these missing persons cases can only have been done by a UFO, because the sniffer dogs can't find any trail. Bodies disappear and then reappear, and there's some kind of technology at work here. It's not just an ape, mauling people in the woods. There's something very, very sinister and organized going on. So that's what I've been trying to show in my Bigfoot videos, that there's more to it than meets the eye. Anyway, that's all I've got time for today, unfortunately. There's a lot more I'd like to say, but unfortunately, I've got a real life. You see, I'm not like Steve Isdal from howtohunt.com, who's somehow got all these endless hours of spare time, never has to iron his shirts or launder or try and dry clothes and get things ready for work, make sandwiches for work the next day. He never bothers with all that, because he lives in a fantasy world of make-believe. So, yeah, that's all I got time for. I'm going to try and make another video over the next couple of days, presenting some more evidence of the association between teepee structures that are attributed to Bigfoot and these witchcraft human sacrifices. I've got some more evidence of that. It's starting to pile up now. I'll try and get that to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.